What is your size?
The towers of power too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Oh yeah.
Hello fellow humans, what do this duck, this view, and this car have in common? Well, that's all of them were at Gamescom. Now the car was obviously the most interesting one of those, but I was there, invited by Wargaming to Gamescom 2023, so it was very jam-packed with people, as you can see, but it was still a very nice experience nonetheless. So let's go through a little bit what happened there, because it was quite interesting, and I definitely would like to go there again. First of all, it started off at the Huawei booth with a couple of quizzes and giveaways. The organization was improvable, but there was free t-shirts, and I myself have quite a lot of them, so if you happened to need more t-shirts, go to Gamescom next year. Would very much appreciate to see you there, and you would also get free t-shirts. And you can also see this, which is a hypercar, which was built during the 24 hours of Le Mans, which I think was the most interesting thing of the entire show, where you just have a massive direct replica of a real-life hypercar in Lego. It was very nice, and they built it in 24 hours as well, so seeing that thing was absolutely amazing. What wasn't so amazing, though, are the phones at the Huawei booth, because even though they were just about able enough to gamble, and yes, I did drive 550 kilometers to watch WhatBeJoe open crates on a display account with over 1 million gold, these phones weren't quite able to run the game at highest settings, which I find quite shocking. But just have a look at the gambling anyway, because you will get nothing. So the thing is, obviously, the timetable was very interesting. It was at times not very well planned through, but that's just how it goes. But essentially, at the beginning, there was the Huawei booth, some quizzes, some giveaways, some display tournaments. We'll get into that later. And there was also 2 nightclub events, one at the Club Tivoli, which was horrible because essentially it was just a massive sauna. So after that, we just simply went outside and for a walk at the night time of Cologne, which was very lovely. So cool. And then there was also the Wargaming 25 party, which was a lot better, and I have pictures of it, but I can't show you those. But what I can show you is that eventually, after like 300 crates, we did get the cargo. So the Wargaming 25 party, it was great. Was a great experience. It wasn't as overfilled with people, and it wasn't as hot of a sauna as the Tivoli Club, so that was very nice. What was also very nice is that me and WhatBeJoe actually had the time and place to touch some grass, which was overall very nice. And there was also some bonus codes that I have still, and that I can give away in the future. And I've also heard that Nino has about 374 bonus codes, so if you go to Nino's stream and ask him for bonus codes, he is obliged to give them to you. Of course. Maybe. I don't know. And there was also anime music, which, I don't know what to think of it, but it was very much there. So there was also, again, I think I already mentioned, this car, which is just amazing. And Farming Simulator League esports of the Farming Simulator, which is a real thing. And it was actually quite entertaining to watch while I did. And they also had a massive tractor, and there was way too many people. As you can see in pretty much every of these shots, there was way too many people. But the Farming Simulator esports, definitely can highly recommend watching it if you have never seen it, because even though it seems confusing at first, it is very, very fun. Now, there was also a couple of Blitz events of that sort. Obviously, the World Fangs Blitz didn't have its own booth, so essentially it was confined to what Huawei and at the other time 9gag had to offer. And I must say the 9gag booth was just much better, especially it has Asus ROG phones, which just run the game much better. And also the aesthetic of the booth there was a lot better. So, and there was also this little display gameplay up on there on the Huawei booth. Now the big problem really was is that the internet at Gamescom was at times horrible, but that's obviously no one's fault really, given that there's like 50,000 people there. And again, here you see Nino commentating on some gameplay in World of Tanks Blitz, also with the raid guys happened to show up at Gamescom, which was very interesting as well. And also what happened to show up is this guy didn't really get too close to the old man, but at the Huawei booth there was some giveaways as well, so I did somehow end up winning some wireless headphones that only work one at a time. But anyway, that just about works. And the only thing that I would definitely improve is get Blitz its own booth and don't use the Huawei phones again, basically. But there was also some couple of interesting events, like a quiz we could win some t-shirts. And they're very good t-shirts, and I have a lot of them. So get yourself some World of Tanks Blitz t-shirts. Just show up at Gamescom next year and get yourself some free Wargaming t-shirts. Because why not? I don't ever have to shop ever again. I have plenty of t-shirts. And there was also a lot of other amazingly massive booths, especially the Xbox booth, which is gigantic. But then we get to the Blitz booth next to the 9gag booth, which basically a appendix to the 9gag booth. And they had a shared missile model, which unfortunately was not allowed to bring an axe. But I also do hope that next year the model will be an M2 Lite. Is that right, Wargaming? But yeah, there was also a little tournament with the World of Tanks PC YouTuber Myland. If you don't know him, well, he's a German YouTuber, but that was also very interesting as well. Again, organization gotta be improved quite a bit. There was also a sort of secret Q&A session for the YouTubers that obviously I'm not gonna share any details because I don't know which of those informations exactly are limited and which aren't. But I have some more info as well, which was very nice. The transparency from the developers is a very important thing. Speaking of that, I also have a little excerpt here for you from an interview with the head of studio of Wargaming.
I'm gonna ask the cheesy job interview question. Where do you see the game in 5 years?
That's a good question. So, first of all, alive and well. That's, I think, and that's the biggest thing. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that we're doing right now, actually, that, you know, look, we're coming up, it's gonna be 10 years, right? And we've got a bunch of big things that we've been working on that we haven't talked about yet, because I learned a long time ago, like, you don't want to come out and tell people a whole bunch of things about what you're doing until you know that it's, not just that it's gonna get done, but that there's a release date and I can make promises, right? Because you don't want to get people all excited and then we don't have to reference specific other video game companies that have done this, but I think we can all think of examples. But I can tell you there's a bunch of stuff that we've been doing that's like some pretty gnarly technical changes and updates that are still a ways off, but that are designed to make sure that we're around not just for the next year, a couple of years, but that we're really future-proofed. There's a lot of efforts going on for that right now, and it's part of the reason actually that you'll see, you know, there's a lot of content that we're doing and a lot of, you know, events and things like that, but some of the technical work, a lot of our engineers are focused on the future, right, on things down the road, rather than kind of the usual month-by-month stuff.
I've also linked the full interview down in the description because I don't have to upload it twice. And, well, that was a very nice event overall with very lovely people. And I gotta say, I will definitely love to go there again. And I need a better camera because it was way too dark in there with that one. But again, nice car. And, yeah. They also had very good PCs, so if you're looking to play just play Blitz on a PC, it's much better. If you have 10k lying around, get yourself this PC, play Blitz on it. Thank you for watching.